Welcome. This is Bertena with the New You Self-Care and Wellness Center. This summer we spoke about self-care things such as doing exercises at your desk, um, starting a hobby, staying in touch with friends. Well, this time I'm going to be looking at tarot cards for self-care in this video and tea leaf reading for self-care in the next video. Now you ask, well, how can that be part of self-care? It very much is. It actually started out tarot card reading and tea leaf reading both started out as things that entertained people, that kept families together, that helped answer questions about directions that they needed to go in their life. So it's always been a part of self-care and taking care of who you are. So tarot originally began in the 14th century in Italy. Artists created playing cards like the ones that we have today, and there's usually four suits. There's the cups that are hearts, the pentacles are diamonds, the wands are clubs, and swords are spades. During this time, a lot of rich people would have artists create family pictures on the cards. For example, the father or the head of the house would be the king, the mother would be the queen, the prince would be the jack, sometimes the female or the daughter would be the page, depending upon the situation. And these became the court cards that we know of today, the king, queen, jack, and all of that. But then they also added what was called the Fool in tarot, and I will do my best to try to stay in focus. Sometimes Zoom makes it a little bit harder. I apologize. But the Fool card was the person, or it represented you on your journey, and later it became the Joker in the playing cards. Anything with the cards was normally a parlor game from the rich until about the 18th century. People began creating cards that would have symbols on them, sometimes about their religion or their secret society. As you see, there's astrological signs there. And this is when it became more divinatory. You look at the Hierophant there, the faith that goes into it. And so divination started to come about at this time. Looking here, the King of Cups. There we go. And so what happened is in 1791, Jean-Baptiste Eliot was a French occultist, and I think I just destroyed that name, sorry, released the first tarot deck designed specifically for divination rather than for a parlor game or entertainment. Out of that, Arthur Waite, was a member of the Order of the New Dawn, and the Golden Dawn. I'm sorry, I need to slow down. Arthur Waite was a member of the Order of the Golden Dawn, along with another member, Pamela Coleman Smith, and they created the Rider-Waite deck, which is something, it's what we consider our traditional tarot cards. And what they did was she added people onto the major or minor arcana instead of just having swords. Like normally the Seven of Swords, you'll see 7 swords on it. But normally people weren't on there. It was just the sword. So she decided to add people. And this is about 1909. Now today, tarot decks can come in all kinds of different designs. This one is the Tell Me Tarot. It's really great for beginners. It, as you see below, tells you kind of the definition of the card. And we'll talk about reading the cards in just a moment. There is also this deck, as we saw just a moment ago. And these are pretty good beginner decks as well. Here's all the astrological symbols. Now, if you're into astrology, that would be a perfect deck for you. And then there's also a few of the decks that we say are tarot cards, but to me, they are more oracle because they do have the words at the bottom. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But this deck is the fairy tarot cards. Okay, so there's the traditional deck, like the Rider-Waite, the first one. There's the cultural one, and then sometimes themes. So just like this one, instead of having death, she does not like the concept of death because the death card in society always on TV is like, ooh, you're going to die. It's scary. No, it isn't. It is letting go of things, moving forward. New paths, new ideas, things like that. But this deck is really good with if you like fairies. Now, if you'll notice, it doesn't say cups or swords or wands. It has the season. So you do have to read the book to find out the situation with all of that, which one means what. A lot of times we found that in tarot decks, there wasn't a lot of representation of people of color or diversity. And there is a new deck that I don't have yet. It's called Tarot of the Witch. And it is out. And it is something that if you're looking for diversity, you really should look at. Now, a lot of times I get the question from people, what's the difference between tarot and oracle? Well, tarot has the major arcana, which are the cards 0 through 21. And these are the main cards of the deck. These are the ones that have the most significance. They represent the largest turning points in your life. Then you also have the minor arcana, which are the suits that we spoke about just a few moments ago. And as you see here, unlike those, there's no words on them. This is the 5 of coins or the 5 of pentacles. This is the 4 of cups. And these are traditional tarot cards. Now, oracle cards usually have a picture and have a specific message at the bottom. To me, these are labeled as tarot cards, but to me, these cards are more oracle because it tells the message at the bottom. These are great. Both of these are great for drawing a card in the morning and seeing what direction your life is going in, or maybe what you need to focus on. But this is a traditional oracle card. These are the messages from your angels, and they're also from Doreen Virtue. I have about 100 decks of tarot and oracle cards. It was kind of hard for me to pick out the one that I thought you would like the most. So that is the difference between the two of them. Now, how do you choose your cards? Well, first of all, the pictures may attract you. I absolutely love this picture of the world. And when I saw this deck, this was one of the ones. I will go sometimes on Google, find the name of the deck, and put images of such and such deck, and I will look at the pictures. Maybe the pictures are what I like, and that's what I'll order. If I'm in the store, maybe one catches your eye and pulls you to you. Sometimes the size of the card, you'll notice this is a smaller card, this is a bigger card. If you have really small hands, sometimes you may want to stick the smaller cards, or some people just like the feel of the bigger cards in their hands. Just because it feels more, you're not going to drop them, they're more sturdy. There's also cards that are really thin, really thick. It also depends upon your level of experience. If you're beginning, you would want to have like the Rider-Waite or things like that. If you are more advanced, you can go into some that don't even represent, like here, the 7 of Winter. Okay? So the difference is in the idea of what you're reading. Now this brings us into a couple of things. There's reading tarot cards, and then there's intuitively reading tarot cards. Reading tarot cards is taking the book and studying it, like here, taking the book and reading it. First thing in the morning, get up, draw you a card, read the information there. I'm going to do a shameless plug by my beginning tarot journal. Sit down and begin journaling your tarot card of the day. Take a notebook if you want. It's just that simple. And then talk about how you felt when you picked up the card. What does the meaning of this card have to do with you today? What does the card, how did the card play out in the day? For example, this one is the 4 of Spring. Gratitude is a powerful manifesting energy in the universe, helping you gracefully dance with the magical light-footedness of the fairies. So you may want to decide that gratitude is what you're going to do throughout the day, because when we have gratitude, it seems like things are so much more wonderful, and it seems like we get so much more things coming to us when we have gratitude. So writing that down, focusing on gratitude throughout the day, coming back to the journal, and writing down your experience for the day, keeping the idea of what worked, what didn't work. Did you slip up? Did you notice habits? Did you notice gifts that came to you? Peace even. So that's how you read tarot cards, very simply, for self-care. Now, intuitiveness is how I teach my people, my students, and I tell them to focus, look at the card. What's the first thing they see? Now, what does that card mean to you? How did it feel? Like the first thing I saw on this card was this green right here. I'm over. Well, there we go. Okay, right here. And to me, that had to do with leadership, having to do with making something, becoming your own leader. And that may just be something that may be your message that you have today. But another great way is something that I do one Sunday a month is I have a class called Tarot for Self-Care. And this book is listed along with my journals as well on the handout that's provided for you. But I really like the Tarot for Self-Care. I thought that it was just a great addition to what we do each Sunday. So let's see. I'm going to open up and get the Lover's card. Now this is the Lover's card for the traditional. And what we do is, I'll hold it here for you for just a moment. Since the Lover's card is numbered 6, here the unity of this tarot card is represented by 2 wedding rings linked together. Traditional depictions feature 2 nude figures standing beneath an angel. The presence of the angel signifies a divine blessing over the lovers. Essentially, it shows that our union is ordained by the divine. In many popular tarot decks, these lovers are standing in a lush garden, signifying the abundance and peaceful nature of their union. Okay, so let's talk about what the card means for a moment. So if you drew this card in the morning and you're like, well, okay, I'm not in a relationship or I'm in a relationship, this doesn't always have to do with platonic love. It could be, romantic love. It can be platonic love. So let's go. The Lovers. This is a card that speaks of beautiful unions, harmonious partnerships, and yes, love, both romantic and platonic. There's a partnership in your life that's moving along swimmingly, and boy, does it feel great. However, the Lover's card also indicates that there's some sort of a choice to be made here. Know that there's no going backwards from this point. You must decide which way to continue and then make your move. Neither choice is wrong or bad. They're simply different, and it's up to you to decide which path you want to take. Use your head, but also don't ignore your heart and intuition. So part of this book also is self-care. So it goes over the mind, the body, and the soul for self-care. So the mind, practice a little self-love. Give yourself a confidence boost by complimenting yourself in the mirror. And then also by affirmation cards, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But standing in the mirror and saying hello and talking about how much you love yourself, you accept yourself, even looking at the parts of yourself that you may not like, your mouth or your nose or your eyes, and just know that that's your body and you should love your body and love who you are. So the body, treat yourself to new pajamas in a luxurious, soft fabric that feels great against your skin. I love new pajamas. I love new bed sheets, all of that. So just imagine, just go out and buy you some new PJs. Sit around on the couch, sit around in the bed, and just be comfortable. And feel how it makes you feel to be just soft, allowing yourself to love yourself. And spiritual self-care. Spread a little love by complimenting a stranger. Making small positive connections with others can totally improve your mood. It doesn't cost anything to smile, and it doesn't cost anything to say something nice to someone. And you never know, someone may be having a bad day, and you just made their day. And then also, when they smile at you, you smile back, and that makes you feel happy, and that brings you happiness. So these are a couple of ways for self-care. So this book I'll show you again. I really enjoy it. It talks about the Fool's journey, and it goes through every card with interpretations and self-care. Now, another thing that you can do is to look at what is called affirmation cards or messenger cards. These are ones that I use in my yoga class. I lay these down, well, when we did them in person. I laid these down on the mat, and this was wherever they ended up at, this was the card that met for them. And ironically, this is gratitude again. As you see, I shuffled them just a moment. So maybe you'll draw one in the morning and it says practicing gratitude. Today, I will practice gratitude. I will get in the habit of saying thank you, even for the problems in my life, because these challenges are valuable lessons I can learn from. Gratitude is the key that turns problems into blessings and the unexpected into gifts. So you may want to take this, take a journal, and begin writing some information. Now, if you are used to doing tarot and you are more advanced, this is a really good journal for you to work in. It has you pull 3 cards, past, present, and future. And if you're practice tarot, then you understand. So it looks at the past to see what are some habits or things, positive or negative, that is influencing your present now. And then from there, it looks at what the outcome may be in the present. So all you do is you talk about, in this journal, different cards. You may pull a card for clarification, looking at meanings of the cards and making your plan out for the day. So let's think just a moment. Imagine if I take this deck of cards and we shuffle them like that. Please do not bend cards like this. It really will break the spine, and to me it hurts the cards. So just a simple reading. This is our past, which is the Knight of Coins. You've had a lot of messages, a lot of things going on with money in your past. Some you've listened to and some you may not have. But in your present, there's something that you're really wanting. You're almost at that point of manifesting the relationship and your passion for what you want. In your future, it shows that you're successful if you listen to your past habits with money. If it were bad habits, let them go. The lessons you've learned, continue with them. And then you'll bask in your glory and have what you wish. See? Very, very simple. Now, readings are more detailed, but that was just enough for what time we have today. So remember, you may have oracle cards, traditional tarot, modern tarot, any of those are really good. But the beginning of the tarot card is the Fool's Journey to Enlightenment. So tarot cards are just our journey. It tells the story of the very first card in the major arcana, the Fool, number 0. The Fool starts out innocently, hopefully, and a little naive on a trek through the major arcana, learning things, life lessons, and meeting important figures along the way. The Fool's ultimate goal is personal enlightenment. As you'll soon discover, the intense and adventure-filled journey through the major arcana has come to you. So, your journey, the Fool. You meet the magician that says you have the talents and the skills to be successful on this journey. Then you travel on to the high priestess who says, you know, we really don't know what your journey is yet, but the secrecy and the magic that goes along with them is for you to enjoy. You will be abundant. You will be prosperous and successful. Now, as you continue, you begin to get to know who you are, and you notice that your accomplishments in your life journey is becoming more and more clear as you follow the rules of the universe. As you begin to learn your lessons, you begin to teach and help others along the way. You give them the gift of your knowledge. You meet people that you care about, and you have to decide if you're going to stay with them or go. Did you make the choice to stay or go? What choices are you making in your life? Are they emotional or logic? As you make your decision to go, you notice that sometimes life is a little bit rough. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. But don't let fear keep you back. Know that you are progressing. You have the strength to be who you wish and the tenderness to show love to others. You now begin your spiritual growth, and you begin to seek answers to questions you never thought that you would ask before. You ask about your destiny. You accept your path. You begin really searching your soul for who you are and decide who you want to be. You notice this takes looking at things from other people's point of view and to let go and just go. Enjoy life. Death has come to let you go, to allow you to let go of fear or any patterns or people that are holding you back, and allow you to continue on this trek or this journey by having peace, letting go of fears, and bringing in positive changes. This may mean that you may have to let go of people that are in your life, or release old habits, or release fears on a spiritual level. You notice that as you are walking on this journey, all your dreams come true. Even though you can't see exactly what's in front of you, you've let go of fear and you trust the universe. You know that your life is self-fulfilled. You do self-care. You take care of yourself. And you have an awakening. You know what you deeply desire. You now take care of yourself. And the world is there in front of you, and all is well. So that's the journey of the Fool. That's the journey of the tarot cards. And that is something that you should look into for self-care. Maybe begin with the major arcanas, which are 0 through 21. Look at the large turning points in your life. Look at how it's significant to your life right now. And then maybe, if you need some clarification, draw a minor arcana card. Just to say, hey, I may draw the Temperance card. I may not be very patient, but I'm growing. Allow myself to grow and to continue that way. But if you have any questions or anything, you'll notice at the bottom of the handout is my Facebook page, A New You Self-Care, my website, anewYouSelfCare.com, and then a link to my books. But you are invited to the Tarot for Self-Care class. It's one Sunday a month. Just check Facebook for the specific date and time. It is free. It's 7:30 Central Time, which would put it at 8:30 if you're Eastern Time. So I hope that you find the self-care that you need in this tarot class and this tarot video, I'm sorry. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me by website or Facebook. Thank you very much and have a good day.